is one of the last few times you're probably going to see me in this room because I'm actually in the process of moving and looking for a new spot. And I think it'll be better too because I think the lighting in here could be a lot better. There's been like some technical issues in this building. So I think it'd be like a really cool change. And it gave me some ideas too for some topics. I know some of you guys are always looking for new topics to talk about. There's so much going on online. So I'm like, hey, let me add my 2 cents. And since I got into a bit of trouble talking about nutritional medicine, no, I'm not trying to give no signs. Sometimes I just do that. Okay. So don't get all tweaky on me, some of you guys. Um, I like talking about nutritional medicine. That's what I started my channel on first and foremost. And I have to like bring it back. And I'm always finding myself going back to the herbs to feel better. I feel like I gained some weight in the past few months. In a way, that's kind of good. I was actually pretty sick. I told you guys I had an infection in my tooth that really does a number to your health. There was actually an athlete who had an issue with that, and it actually really affected his performance. They thought it was something else, but it can turn into a systemic thing to the point where I was losing weight. I was, not feeling great, and I was in a lot of pain. So it's definitely something to, take care of, guys. It's all about, being holistic, and your oral health is so important too, right? I know a lot of people like sugar and everything else, right? And I hear even fizzy drinks are not the best. I was kind of pushing that mineral water. You hear the noise, now you know why I'm gonna have to. Yeah, yeah. The places that I've been looking at, guys, have been really great. It's actually more quiet. I feel like I can't get a word in edgewise where I am. It's too close to downtown. But anyways, I was using the herbs to help with like inflammation and things like that. And I'm drinking a bit of rosemary. Mm, it's actually really good. And because when you're moving, you realize how much stuff you have, right? So I'm going to a place that's a little bit smaller. So I actually have bins and bins, guys, of notes, like hard printouts. So I put a lot of my stuff on digital hard drive. Like if you can't print out every article, everything you read. Although when you're first learning about any type of topic, you can get super excited, right? And you want to know everything there is to know, right? Books are really great, and downloadable PDFs are really good too. Yeah, I have to put my teacher hat on, right? I'm always in the teacher mode because whatever I go through, I like to make it a teachable moment. And it's a really good idea too if you're a bookworm or if you're a researcher or whatever, right? We all have like our different vibes to upload videos. Like say you can't save every note, every whatever. On my community tab you've seen pictures, right, of my bins of like files for days, right? So what I'm doing right now, I'm like, with all my different articles, obviously like the paperwork that I really need to save, um I'm going to save obviously in my, I'm gonna have like one less room or whatever, and I'm gonna make room for it. But what's really cool, a lot of you guys have Patreon and all that. Well, in a lot of instances, that's a really great way to save your work. It's almost like uploading it to the cloud or whatever. And in one of my prior videos, I was saying how I share a lot of my stuff because, we're not promised tomorrow. We're not, it's like the more, you walk along this process or journey of life, you realize how mortal you really are, right? When you have an issue and you have to go to the dentist or you're in a lot of pain and all of this stuff, you're like, oh, wow, I could be taken out tomorrow. You realize that hoarding all kind of information isn't helpful. So what I like to do is like I'll take different articles that I allocated and I'll actually upload it. I'll make videos, I'll make topics out of it. That way I don't have to save all of these different articles. I could be like, hey, we can talk a little bit about this and that. And I got some of my, as they call it, receipts, right? Because everyone's like, oh, you're so, holistic, and this and that, because they know that I make every excuse not to take a pain medication, not to, use the standard form of treatment unless I really have to. I mean, if you're in a lot of pain, I understand, but there's white willow bark. Like I went to the dentist, and even if you don't have insurance, right? They're so funny because I test them all the time, right? I go like shop and see like what's the best thing, and I like, report back to you guys or whatever. Well, some of them take like only special insurance, or they'll do payment plans. And even when they don't know, even when they know you are paying out of pocket or whatever, they'll still try to write you a script. Like they really need to get like something right in the books, even if you're not going to get the treatment that day, or say, you got to put the down payment. It could be extensive or whatever. They were quick to give me painkillers. I'm like, I'm good. Like, I know a lot of people who choose not to do that because they know how addicting that can be. And we already see the epidemic of that, right? And being addicted to painkillers can't be good for your teeth, right? Because you see people that are dealing with that with dental issues. So I'm like, it is, a fine line when you're like going to these appointments and you don't want to come across like a know-it-all or disrespectful, or like you don't appreciate like their work and stuff. So, I'm just careful how I do it. But with restoration, obviously, stuff happens and our diet is like out of control. So I was doing a little research, right? So the ancient Egyptians had a lot of dental issues because they were eating a lot of coarse grains. So I guess we eat a lot of starch, a lot of breads. I was actually eating, I had no business doing this. Um, Someone put me on to English toffee, and I'm like, if you really hate yourself on your teeth, right, eat that, right? And it was so good. I was like addicted to eating it for like a good few months straight. And it was not my friend, obviously. So like crunchy stuff and all of that, is super important to watch out for. But I made rosemary tea. So I have an article here. I'll read a little bit to show you like some of the benefits. And like I was saying when I first started my video, that I am in the process of moving, and life is a lot like looking for an apartment or a new house. It's not going to be perfect, and even dating, I can make like correlations also that, right? Because you're not going to find everything in one thing. It's incredible. So that's a bit stressful as it is too, dealing with that, a new job, all of this stuff, right? All in the same time, right? That's just like how life takes you sometimes. So, rosemary is really great to help with stress and inflammation and all that, just to kind of like give you an alternative. If you want to use whatever the doctor or dentist prescribes, hey, that's on you. I'm all about free choice. But as someone who is like, Miss Nature Path, right, I really try to get you guys to understand that herbs are very scientific as well. They have scientific compounds. I don't always remember it off the top of my head, and I was really diligent about printing out every article to back up all my claims, because in my family, everyone is like a born debater, right? It's like a cynical city, right? Everyone like wants to prove you wrong before proving you right. So you have to make sure you know your stuff, right? And you have to be on top of it, right? Like a master lawyer or whatever. So I always make sure I print out my stuff, right? Just to like shut them down. Like it is just, everyone's different, and just like in life, what is good for you may not be good for me, and vice versa. And we just got to appreciate that, like what it is, right? Everyone's like a so called snowflake. That's where we got that from, right? So the ancient Egyptians, guys, were eating coarse grains. They because I was looking at the history of dentistry and all of that, just a little, history now. And you would think it's one thing, sometimes it's another. And I was watching this commercial for a well-known dentist in the area, and I just thought it was so funny, just like the marketing of it all, right? Where you see the woman all happy and stuff, and then at the end of the commercial she was eating cake, and I'm like, well, that's probably what brought her in to the dentist in the first place, was the cake, right? So I'm like, that's funny. They want recurring business. So they're going to, instead of eating an apple or something, which is supposed to neutralize the teeth, they got the woman eating cake, right? So doing all that work just to reinforce the same bad habits. And in this world, that's kind of how it is too, right? It's like a lot of bad behavior is reinforced to kind of like fund the different businesses to keep them going, right? So of course they're gonna hate on people like me because they're like, "What are you doing? Teaching people how to heal themselves naturally with herbs. How the ancients would do it." So I'm careful how I word it because how it is here. We get flagged for whatever, so I got to use different code words. I don't even like that I said that even. But the anti-inflammatory qualities of rosemary. So I'm always going to give you something educational on my channel. That's why it's like Dia Dash, Dash in Deception. That's kind of how I started, right? And so I was always in YouTube jail. So I'm trying to like be tactful. I talk about like regular stuff too, right? Because it's like, the Aaron Brockovich in a way, right? But definitely could use a payout at this point, right? Because I'm always exposing certain things, and there's an audience for that, and there's some who defend it. And like, let's be real, especially when it comes to the medical industry, it's one of like the bigger ones. And okay, you can be scientific and still be pro nutrition and pro herbs, right? Because even Hippocrates, right, which was the father of medicine, said, "Let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food." And we all know the word pharmacy came from the word farm with the F, hello, with the good food and all of that good stuff, right? So, there is a lot of merit there. And when you break down the constituents, you will see that even with the different compounds of different herbs, like the holistic side came first, and what they do is they isolate the different compounds, because if they change it up a little bit or whatever, then they can patent it, because you usually can't patent, what the creator, created, right? Because he already pretty much patented it, right? So you can't patent nature basically. But if you can change nature around a little bit, there you go. So anti-inflammatory quality. So I'm going to drink this down. Hopefully it helps me, my little systemic, whatever. Obviously, it only takes one tooth to be infected. It can like mess up your whole health. I gained some weight, so I'm like getting healthier again and stuff. But I was really sick for a while, having a hard time eating. If you look at a few videos back, there was even a short. I was like jogging outside. Oops. And I was like, wow, I really got lean. And it was because I couldn't eat properly. It was just, it kind of changes the whole dynamic and stuff. And I was like, I didn't realize my body was fighting it off so hard. I was like sleeping more and stuff like that. Even your mood will change a little bit. I was a little bit more crabby and all of that. I didn't, want to do the things I like to do. And, some people could not understand like what you're going through and stuff, especially if you're like the strong type that usually like go, deals with it alone and stuff. But it's just something that a lot of people deal with. It doesn't take much, and that there are herbs to help with the inflammation. So, rosemary, it has anti-inflammatory properties, and there are two acids, cortisol and carnosic acid are two powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds found in rosemary that have been linked to reducing inflammation of muscles, blood vessels, and joints. This makes it an effective treatment for many things, including blood pressure and gout. Okay. It's great for injuries sustained during physical exertion and even surgery. It is an effective oral or topical form, and in its oral or topical form, so you can use it on your skin too. And a lot of people say it's great for mitigating hair loss. Like you can add it to shampoo and conditioner. Of course, you got my neighbors already with the music. If you guys are in the chat, say hi. Don't be shy. I'm not going to be on long. It was kind of like an in between. I'm kind of like in and out like I usually am. So I was like, hey, let me just do something that is educational. I actually, I have like different things that I usually show in my videos. Sometimes I do more with the screen recorder, more with like the law stuff, but I do like to change it up because we're being saturated with so many different topics. And I'm like, listen, this is my niche too. Doing more like the natural route as someone who was like raised in a very chemical, synthetic generation. I think it's like a nice little change too. Like you wouldn't expect someone, I don't know, me to come on and be talking, you know what I mean? About important stuff like this. Most people just don't care. It's like a gossip special. Hello, my dear. Of course, I can always count on you to come by. Hi, Lamin. How are you? I hope your weekend's going great. I hope you have some fun plans going on. My day has been dentist appointment. I don't know if you've been seeing my community tab. I've been just, putting whatever graffiti. Sometimes my channel will turn into a vlog, not to overshare or whatever, but, to kind of relate a little bit with my audience too. I have family who act like they're not watching me, but they see me from Facebook and they'll come jump on. So I'm like, it's all good in the hood. Is my makeup? Of course, no one's telling me about my makeup. Okay. I actually made my own mascara. Of course, that's too funny. I got a little towel over here. It's funny. It makes me look like a doll. Did you guys notice that? So I made my own mascara. I know. Real friends would have said something. You all are not real friends then. Afternoon. Thank you, sweetheart. I needed that info. Yes, I'm still reading some of my article. But can you believe it? So I blinked, right? And I made my own Egyptian style mascara because I ran out, which is actually healthier. All you need is a little bit of activated charcoal, right? And a little bit of oil. You see that little smudgy smudge there, right? You can make whatever. But it was like so wet when I put it on. So I'm going to watch this. Obviously, I've been talking for 16 minutes. I'm not going to be all like, self-conscious like I usually am. I can be a freak like that, but whatever. As you get older, you're like, it is what it is. So you make rosemary tea. Yes, dear. I make all kind of stuff. I know, right? It's like, whew. You don't realize what you can do with your two hands, right? Until you put your mind to it. So yeah, you don't see it because I strain the leaves, but you can have an actual rosemary you can get. Should I go get what I was using? I'll be right back. I'm going to stand up. I don't want my phone to fall down. Okay. I'm going to stand up. Yes. I'll be right back, my dear. Let's see if I can find what I was using. I think I have a few more minutes. I'm like, oh, am I running out of time? I've got so much to do today. Yeah, so you basically can take whole leaf. Hopefully I don't look like a freak anymore and I fixed my, because you could see how I had the lines right here and it made me look like a doll. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go, right? So like no one even seen it, but I was like far away from the camera. So I have a local grocer. I love the mom and pop shops. You get the best deals when it comes to herbs. So this was like $4.99. Shout out to Portugalia. I'm always giving them shout outs because in these urban areas, it's hard to find like really good quality places. But when you do, you're like always going to that one or whatever. And it's something outside of like Market Basket, things like that. And look how big it is, right? So it's a good size, right? So I just take like maybe this much, a few tablespoons or whatever, throw it in a mason jar, add hot water, let it seep for a while, and then you basically just strain it, right? With like those spoons that look like little strainers. And I add a little bit of maple syrup. And I've been on echinacea too. This is an anti-infective. So you can even let it cool down. Like I'll drink it to get it internally, right? And I'll let it cool down and then I'll use it as like a mouthwash and then like I'll rinse it with water. Like I'll leave it in my mouth for like 2 minutes to like do what it got to do to fight whatever infection. And you can also soak a cotton ball, right? And you can put it in the area that's bothering you. Another good one to do that with is clove. That's one of the very few essential oils that you can use like on soft tissue, but you have to make sure it's 100% pure, of course. I like Rocky Mountain oil. I don't know if you guys are onto that, but I'm really good at like vetting different vendors and stuff because, I've purchased some crappy ones, some good ones, so I'm always like comparing. But that's basically all I do. You can mix and match. So you can not only can you use herbs, but you can use spices too. So you can like throw it in a mason jar, you can, do whatever, but that's like super good to like, fight whatever infection inside and out. And it can take whatever. I mean, if you eat too much sugar, definitely flossing every day. I mean, I was doing all that stuff and I still got a freaking infection, but it was like bad dental work. I had a fill in. I don't trust half of these fill-ins, now they're telling me I need another one. I'm like, why don't you just shut up with this stuff, right? So you can dislodge it even more, and then in the future the whole thing would want to fall out, so we get all implants. So there's a back tooth that I need to pay for an implant now. You can't really, thank God, right? You can't really see too much. It's back there, but yeah. So I kind of like had like a near death experience. It was like so bad. I was like in so much pain, and it did what it did. Our body has an amazing way of saving itself, right? If there's like a sick part or whatever. And it was really traumatizing. Like I didn't even want to upload for the longest. I was like, this is some bull, you know. And it's just part of like life to getting a little bit older. Just there's a lot of maintenance. Even when you're younger, there's a lot of maintenance too that goes into it. A lot of people don't realize, and life is so expensive. So I mean, I know a lot of people who, that's why I don't prejudge people so quick like other people would, because I understand life experience and how that could play into a lot of things in your life. Um, some people might judge somebody who is having don't have the best credit or whatever, but then you can find out they had a lot of medical issues and that came into play. I know a lot of younger people that have like life threatening issues, so anytime you can mitigate that and help them save money, may it be with like natural substances. I mean, like I was saying earlier, I'm waiting for my dental to kick in. I just started a new job, right? So I was like, oh, I'll work out like a payment plan, whatever. And they can know that about you, right? And they'll still want to put scripts, though. Like, oh, they still got to try to bill you, however. And I'm like, what's the point of all that, right? I'm good. Like, I've been managing it this long. I'll just, you know what I mean? I'll just save my money for the actual procedure. You know what I mean? I'm working around my schedule and stuff. And there's like payment plans you can do and stuff. And you can just try to work off like, some people have state insurance. They might pick up, a tab maybe with copays, but not every dentist would even take that. Some of them only deal with private insurance. So I'm looking at it too. Like there was a private insurance. It was Delta, which is a really good insurance. I had for my old job. I'm actually looking into like contacting them and seeing, hey, do you? They might even have a way where you can just pay a small premium per month, right? And like just have your own plan outside of work, because like that's what they were doing in the first place, right? They were just like deducting whatever. But a lot of times they only pay up to like 1,000 a year or whatever. It's like whatever, I'll just work out whatever payment plan. But a lot of the times it can be from like the work that you've already done before. Could be like a fill-in that fell out and now you're screwed because they made they drilled in there and made the hole too big and now the whole thing's effed up. It's like it gets crazy and there's like a lot of horror stories. Some people get veneers. I'm not a big fan. These are all my real teeth. It's not perfect, but who is, right? Get over it. But as far as like if you lose a tooth or whatever, implants are I'm a huge supporter of that. They say it's made with like a titanium base, which is bioavailable, and unless you lose and like been through it yourself, you're not going to understand like how it totally changes your jaw, like even just one. It could be in the back. You feel so different. It's hard to eat the same. You can't really chew the same, unless you're going to be on, like a shake own diet or whatever, right? So, stuff like that, it could definitely impair you because everyone looks at me and they're like, oh, you're all about just like natural remedies. I'm like, yeah, but if you need something replaced, you know what I mean? Shit happens. And like, what are you supposed to do? Hide under a rock? You may have a job that you have to face people every day. That's the type of job I have. I mean, it's the hotel industry. You got to talk to them at the front desk and, be pleasant. You're looking good. Thank you, dear. I'm trying. It takes, yeah, women, right? We got to be working day and night. That's what it seems like. That's why I did a video. I appreciate you because next week, my hours are going to be so busy. It's going to be like 8 to 5, and I got to commute and all of this to like the yuppie town next door where like all the good hotels are at and stuff, which is great, and so it's gonna be like, especially in the winter, it's gonna be like I'm there night to night kind of thing. And when it gets really busy, they're open. I think we'll be there until like 8:30. But it'll be great to get a lot of hours. I'll be learning a lot. Full benefits, which is great. It's a great industry to be in. If you put marketing and customer service, I'm still getting all type of different job offers, but some of them I have, just like with an apartment, I was saying earlier, or relationships, right? Or jobs, right? Obviously, you can hear why I've been looking for another one, especially somewhere more quiet. There's going to be something wrong or off about all of the offers, or it might be too far. It might not have dental. Like, dental was like a deal breaker. Like, what is the point? I need freaking dental, right? Especially as you get older. I don't know why people are spending their money on Botox or everything else. Like, teeth, people, teeth, invest in your teeth, right? That will keep you looking good no matter how, right? Like, so for me, like, I'm doing like everything natural and stuff. Like, I don't got nothing, thus far. I think I made it pretty far without getting all that crazy stuff. But yeah, definitely dental was huge, right? Medical, I don't really use that much. If anything, I save the taxpayers so much money because I do everything holistically. Like, unless I break a bone, which was like once in my life, right? Catching a football because the guy was trying to overflex on me, if you can believe it, as small as I am. He like threw the football at like 1,000 miles an hour, trying to act like Tom Brady, and the shit like broke my pinky. Can you believe, right? So that was like the only time, right? He's like, "Oh, I didn't really make it that. I didn't throw it that hard." I'm like, "Dude, you broke my finger. That's crazy." I mean, I caught it, and that was a good catch, right? So yeah, I guess I am a good catcher. But yeah, so dental was like really huge. So like, yeah, with different jobs or whatever, or like right now I'm apartment shopping, and I'm so used to having like a washer and dryer in the building. There's some apartments that's like a gray area, nice and all decked out, but then don't have that, and I'm like, oh no, now I gotta go back to going to the laundromat, doing all that stuff, right? So the same thing with jobs too. They could it could be great, it could you know be a place you'd want to work, but the commute might be crazy, or they're not offering like the benefits that you need or whatever, right? But I'm noticing a lot in the customer service marketing. They love that. And if you're online already, and especially if you have your own channel, you're already doing that. We're doing this is public relations, you can call it whatever right now, right? And having this channel and having the practice to do this was huge in helping my comfort level. You would think I'm just like, some people think I'm like the biggest motor mouth. It just depends. Other times, right? It's like my horoscope, the crab. I can be a hermit crab. I could totally just be such an introvert to the point that I can go a long stretch of time without talking to anyone. Like it'll be so long, right? Like some people in this world, they can't handle that. They'll want to do a wellness check on you. Put it that way. Like you'd be so like I'll be so happy like with my own space. So I think it's just like too funny. But you can get a little bit like used to that too, and it can almost make you a little bit too reserved or shy. So it's like, all right, now it's time to, try to get my my conversational skills back up and things like that. So if you're on here and you have your own channel, oh, we got Latin music next door. If you got your own channel or whatever, or a podcast, this is already like a form of marketing and media. So it's something that you could also put on your resume. Don't be limited to just only the paying gigs. Make sure I don't have all that going on, because that was crazy. It could be like whatever you're doing at the moment. You know what I'm saying? It could be like it could be a producer. I know a lot of guys who are doing music or writing, being like a ghostwriter or whatever. They like to see that too, having like good communication skills. So putting down like communications, you will be like amazed at how many people, especially Indeed.com has been like a great tool for me, because you could just like tweak your resume, upload it already, and they'll scan it. They'll actually come and hit you up in your email, and be like, "Oh, we seen your resume, this marketing skill, these communicate." Like they'll like highlight the skills that they like the most. So it kind of shows you, maybe like there's an algorithm to it as well too, and they'll be like, "We really think that you would be a great fit." And they'll reach out to you. And even after I secured a job, I got another offer, and I was like, this is a really great thing, for anyone who's looking. Hi, my sister. Hello. Oh yeah, she's the. Oh, for a minute I wasn't. I'm kind of like in between. That's a whole other story. I've kind of was like teetering. I'll do me, my friend. How about that, right? I tell him, I'll do me, right? Yeah, that's a whole other story. Yeah, I'm good for right now, but it was teetering. I didn't feel very supported. Okay, that's a whole other. Of course I made you a mod a while ago, my dear. A while. Aw, thank you. Yeah, Shabbat Shalom for you too. Yes, I'm keeping it. Actually, I've been trying to keep it chill today, which is good. That's how I was raised to sometimes in this field, right? I'm in the hospitality field again, so I know they're gonna make me work Saturdays sometimes, which is whatever, right? But it's one of those fields that they'll give you like one weekend on, and then like, or off, and then maybe like a weekday type deal, right? So yeah, I was sharing how I have like so much going on this week. I was sharing a little bit of rosemary tea, explaining how it's anti-inflammatory, trying to like teach the audience how you can actually save some money on being natural, and staying away from the medical industry as much as you can. And it helps you relax too, which I'm trying to do because I'm in the process of moving. I'm going through like too much. I think you scared off the whole chat. Don't worry about her comments, guys. You don't know me like that, like that. She does, but my personal life, I'm seeing where the Lord takes me. I think I'm with the right one, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know, man. It is what it is. I won't say too much, right? We'll let time tell. So far, so good for now. But it was rocky the past couple of months, let's just say. Yeah, I was ready to jump ship. So is ginger tea good? Yes, ginger is very good for you. It's great for nausea. It's great for infections too. I've had that in the past. I've drank that. Eating it raw is good. You can just buy the root and chop it up. Instead of taking pills, we'll just take little pieces of ginger and pop that, right? I think the world would be a better place. Yes, sis. Oh, I'll get free side. Vitamin shop. Yes. Just call. Oh, you can get free boxes from them. That is a good idea. You're so resourceful. Yes, I've been buying Tupperware totes too. How many do I have? Too many to count, right? I've been putting like my shoes and my clothes, because where I live is really noisy. The landlord's kind of some issues. He could be fixing things that I don't like to talk too much about it until I leave, because Just like on your channel, right? On your husband's channel, he goes into the law. Well, private, quiet enjoyment is a huge deal, don't you think? And I actually had the police called once because I was doing a live and I was doing one of these, and the dumb freak who's been stalking me for like 20 years, he like never has a woman, thought I was talking to myself. Like, how would you even know that? Are you listening on my door? Like crazy. Like I'm doing to you right now. I wish he would. I wish he would. I really wish he would do that right now because I already got the law on my side. I've been taking pictures or whatever. This is someone that I've been here since I was 25 years old in this building. Yep. So gave him a lot of business. I'm actually an investor, if anything. And the way he's treated other people, you know, when you have like someone in the building that don't have their own life, so they're like overly involved in what everybody else is doing, it's like to the point where it's creepy. Yeah. So like again, I don't like to talk too much about it because it's not something that I even had to deal with before. I've been here this long, so it shows my credibility must be pretty good, right? You know. Yes, find out what, yes, I definitely will. Yeah, so, you know, things happen for a reason. So obviously, I mean, like I said too in the past, like this area I'm in is actually like energetically charged. This house itself has been trying to like release me from it. It was so windy one day that like two windows literally like blew themselves out. Like weird stuff happens here, like the doors open by themselves. We're actually, you know, regardless, you know, the energy can come wherever with me. I'm not scared, you know, obviously I'm good. But the people sometimes can act a little goofy. And I was gonna do a video, but I don't wanna like, you know, I don't know if the family would like it, right? But where I live, the hometown, Fall River. I don't know if you go. I know it's true. Like I'm already so used to it, and like I said with people before, like people get so freaked out with like paranormal stuff. I'm like, you'll see animals like bark at stuff, and you won't even like you won't see anything there. But you know, you've seen videos like that. Like there's been times I've been sitting in my room and like the door is like opening as if like a spirit just like came through. And where I was born and raised was the site of King Philip's War, right? So a lot of people would just think of Fall River for like Lizzie Borden, and I'm like, I can't stand that story. Get over it. Even though a lot of ignorant men out here tried to turn me into the modern Lizzie Borden, and I'm like, it ain't happening, dude. I didn't hate my father like that or whoever, so don't. But they will push you like you're about to pick up an axe, right? And but they'll treat you as such, especially if you're like stern like me. They'll be like, oh my God, she's gonna do this, she's gonna hack me, right? It's like crazy, like literally, like I'll make guys scared and stuff. I'm like, what? But do you guys know, for any of you like smart people, I know that we're like the lost state, right? They even call us massholes, right? I mean, maybe we can be a little bit more fresh than even New Yorkers. I didn't know that. Massachusetts we call massholes. But I have a special guy. There's a special guy. Well, not me, but my hometown, right? He was born in Chelsea. A special guy who's buried at the cemetery. I swear he like comes around. I don't know if that's true, but the gentleman, Lewis Howard Latimer. Do you know who that is? Any of you guys know? He's buried here. Do you know who that is? The inventor of electricity. The guy who should have got the credit, but Thomas Edison. He was what they call African American, but he looked a little bit biracial too, though. But he's buried out here. Yeah, it's like so special. He has like a lot of different books that are out. Yeah, look him up. He's so cute. He almost looks like that cute guy. Kelvin, don't get me started with the De La Soul. De La Soul, don't tell him. The one that the Kelvin guy with the glasses from De La Soul. I have like the biggest crush on him. Even now that he's bald, I don't care how old he is, right? But he was so cute when he was young, right? Go look him up. Cutie. Well, the inventor of electricity, right? So yeah, Lewis, right? So sometimes when the light flickers, I'm always like, Lewis. I don't know. I just like play around. It could just be me, but yeah, he's buried nearby. I was like, oh, I feel like, you know, I want to take a walk there and stuff, but I don't know. I don't want to like make a thing, but I think it'd be really educational. And I'm so sick of us just being known for freaking Lizzie Borden out here or the damn battleship, which is like probably scary to look at. It's like that damn thing, God knows, like the wars it's been in and stuff like that, right? I always think that they're hiding some treasure in there. I don't know, right? I do like the battleship on the Monopoly game. I have like a really antique one that has been passed down or whatever, and I like the little battleship, so I like took that piece for me and like try to play it now. I don't care. It's mine. My little lucky charm, right? But we have a battleship that's like part. So we have a lot of history here. They should do like documentaries, you would think, right? But yeah, so look him up and he'll say he's buried here, Oak Grove Cemetery. So when you look him up, he has like a lot of different books that he, so I'm always very fascinated by him. I always feel like a little bit of a connection. I was born and raised here and stuff. Passed away in the early 1900s. So there was a whole other world here before I came along. So I have a lot of respect for that because we're still using a lot of that, even though that, of course, there's free energy, blah blah blah. But he had a lot to do with the filament and the incandescent light bulb, and we use that all the time now. If anything, that's actually a more healthy frequency than the LED lights and the really saturated white light that we use now. So I thought that was like really cute or whatever. I've been meaning to like talk about that. I think I do bring him up sometimes, right? He's like my spiritual friend or whatever. So yeah. And like other weird things happen. I don't know if that happens to you, but my printer has like a mind of its own sometimes. I know. So Adam's family in here, it's disgusting, right? It'll print out like all kind of weird symbols. Like it likes to waste my paper. You're so silly, right? I call him Rico because that's the brand or whatever. And it'll print out like when I'm trying to print stuff out, and it'll be like, computer love messages. It'll be like happy face, heart, / happy face, like all of this like weird stuff, and it's like spitting that out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it'll just like come on by itself sometimes. I've actually been on live and you'd see that, or like whatever video. So, like I was telling people, they can be like paranormal stuff. You hear there's shows like that. I was watching a video earlier. I was talking about like a cursed town in Georgia and stuff like that. Like really strange things happen. I'm not saying this place is, but this, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows in these areas? It could be I could be on the wrong ley line. That's why all this funky stuff happens, right? But I do know that regardless of this vicinity, if you look up Freetown state forest, there's a lot of, even Ronald Reagan, made a claim that he saw a UFO. Look it up. You can Google this, right? And they call it like the Bridgewater Triangle. And what I don't appreciate is that there has been like some strange activity that's on like the darker side. Okay. There has been like effigies and things like that. So is there a wonder why weird things happen, especially when you have like strange people who find that as part of their belief system. Like there's one thing for me to talk about herbs and natural health, but there's a whole other underbelly, right? When you go like when you talk about like Hollywood and the stuff that they do, or like the movies that are out there, and what are like a lot of like the young girls are doing, and even like some of the old ones too. They got channels. They talk about doing spells. I mean, all of that stuff. You're definitely making like some type of agreement with the dark side, and there's going to be like some type of repercussion. But what sucks about that is that it can affect other people in the vicinity too, right? So it's like, okay, you think you're just doing this isolated thing. Well, it could like mess up the whole vibe of like the neighborhood or whatever, right? So there has been like weird stories of activity. So I'm like, when I see people acting the fool, or crazy, or what they call mentally disturbed, a lot of times it's spiritual. And I sometimes pause, right, and reflect on the different factors that could be contributing to it. But we don't get talked about a lot out here, but when you do a little deep dive, you're like, oh wow, you can see that. And there's a character, I'm not sure her name, if it was Weedamo, but she was from the Pocasset tribe, and she was wearing like kind of like an Israelite Jewish blanket. I don't know. She kind of had like her hair parted, like how I do it sometimes. It was really cute. It was like a blue and white striped blanket, and it was she lived in this area, right? And she died in this area too. But this area where I reside now used to be called Quikasham. So I do like giving people the Native American origin stories and like all the different stuff they did to stay healthy. Pine trees are huge around here on the East Coast. The sister jaguar, right, been out there spilling the tea. Well, that's good. What, in this area? Yeah, especially what they call New England. And yeah, so there are a lot of like funky things. They said that, there's some spots in Georgia too where you are. So it's like, they make movies on it. No one bats an eye. I watched this lady's channel. If you look it up, you can Google. There's a vampire tribe. I think she said in New Orleans. She was like a Lyft driver. She was shook. She said a woman touched her, admitted she was like a spiritual vampire, and there's like four different types. And I got called all kind of crazy. Call it instinct or divine knowledge, whatever. But I was in my place once, and I was talking to my partner, and I heard a light knock on the door. And I go to open the door, and there was no one there. And he swore he didn't hear anything. And I'm like, and I don't know what made me say it. I'm like, oh my gosh, vampires. Who knows? Like vampires. I don't know what made me say that. But I came across a lady's channel, and I really want to like send him the video now. Like, oh, you think I'm so dramatic? I'm hysterical, right? Like, what do you mean, right? Like, shit. We've heard of stories, right? Just because they don't come out and be like, boo, here I am. She was talking about how, a woman just touched her and like was going into it and saying, don't worry, I won't hurt you. I don't require blood. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's good. But still, but there's energy ones. And I was saying to you guys in one of my videos, like, you can get trolled, you can get, you can talk about something super positive. And I was kind of doing that. Like I put up something like that, like going into a comic on my short. And this, stupid jerk was like, take your meds. And I was like, whatever, dude, take a shower, like get a life, right? So you're going to get that even on here too. And that's people who are spiritually trying to suck off your energy. And the lady was breaking down how some can feed off good energy, some can feed off bad energy, sexual energy, or blood. I was like, that is very specific. That is very specific. And New Orleans, we know about the voodoo and the hoodoo and the whatever, right? So, I watched a mini. If you go on the channel Alter, which, the TV has become like the new freaking Alter, right? That's funny how they even have a channel called that. And it's like free, like reality mini movies. Some of it can be horror movies. And it was like a voodoo guy, but like, you couldn't tell, right? Because they blend in Hollywood. Like everything that you see now, you think it's like so normal. And it was a guy who made like a cast of like people's faces and stuff like that. So he made the cast out of like an actor's face. And then he was controlling the guy with it. He's like, I took your soul. I took your image. I'm like, oh my God. So he was doing like, so we got to be careful and like always protect your energy, because even being on here, it's like people that want, ill or whatever, but like obviously you're not going to live under a rock. Some people, just, if this is so like far fetched, why do some people do podcasts and they refuse to cam up? They refuse to show their face. Some of, maybe for shady reasons, but some are really worried about their safety. They're really worried about maybe their image being taken, things like that. So that's why I let you guys know, like, let me know if anybody's trying to steal my image in a negative way. I already caught a bozo doing that once, and I was like, whatever, that doesn't even bother me. You have like no idea what the hell you're talking about. And it's always like the bozos who snake their way in to try to be like your friend or whatever. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, I'm gonna try to like, use this person and like, you know, try to make a case when there isn't a case, because I really need like whatever controversy, whatever, how they get their rocks off, and they really don't have any type of like morality in them, so I've already dealt with that. I've already like had to distance myself from shitheads like that. It's like whatever, right? You only had to do that because in real life we would never even have any type of contact, point blank period. You'd have nothing to offer me. I could already like see right through what it was. So a lot of them have to come on here like, oh, they're so woke, they're so whatever. But a lot of times they end up to being narcissists, and they end up being narcissists, and they just want to be like, aha, I'm so much smarter than the average bear, but they're just a shithead, and they just want to feel like powerful on these forums. So at first they'll try to like network with whoever to try to like make it seem like they're popular or like they have support, right? But it's more of like, them trying to like console their ego, however, right? It's all bull crap, right? Oh, I know you do with it. You're more tactful than me. I'm working on it. Okay. You're younger than me and you're very tactful. I give you credit. I guess, I just don't give an F half the time. I definitely let it be known. That's the thing, right? I try to be more understated because you deal with strong personalities or whatever, right? Me, I guess I could be pretty good about it. I dealt with, I guess I'd have to know them like too many years, and then I would be like, all right, I can't take this bull crap anymore, right? I can do it for a while, but as someone, I'm kind of dealing with that with a situation where I've known somebody for a long time, but I got sick of playing Miss Nice Guy, so I turned up a little bit. But that happens. That's okay. You have to speak your minds when you have to, right, to mitigate the situations. But I hope that your weekend is amazing, right? And that you meet all great people on this forum. I haven't given up on this forum, although it has not been easy. There has been, so you win some, you lose some. I've met some really great people. I bumped heads with other people. Nothing different, right, than life. It just depends on the topics you talk about. If you do a live, I definitely join your lives. I noticed you've been doing shorts too. I've noticed that helps the channel a lot too, doing the shorts. People just like to get to it. So some of the videos that I do, I stick with that, and others I go into deep dives, like stuff like this. Give you guys like an opportunity to come by, say hi, ask any questions, or share any cool things that you're up to, anything new. I hope the kids are doing great and that you guys are enjoying, of course, the phone with the notifications, that you guys are enjoying the summer. The summer is so great, right? Just to be able to, dress up a little bit. That's what I've been trying to do. I got these really cool earrings. What do you think? It's kind of like my look, right? I try not to be in the spirit of an Egyptian, but it seems like some of my attire can like kind of look the part. That's fine. I made my own mascara, which this is what they used to use in the past, right? Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, like less is more. That's what I've been doing. I don't need to be too flashy. When I was younger, we always feel like we need to be flashy. Um, I respect your style. I so love it so much. I've been trying to wear more skirts and dresses and all of that stuff. And with the job that I got, we are expected to dress up like business professional. So I guess there's a reason now for me to wear half of my stuff. You see me dress up in some of my videos, but as you get really busy in life, you can, people think like, I'm constantly shopping. I'm like, to a point, but What it is that, as you get older, and if you maintain the same weight, you acquire so many things. So I could be wearing something and it could be from like 5 years ago, but I kept it in immaculate condition. That's what it's about. It's about, you don't need as many things, but just good quality and what fits you and your body type. Like, I don't follow every little trend. I just follow what works for me, and what's traditionally appropriate for you too, like whatever you're good with. But as you get older and busy, you don't have time to even use your good clothes, right? You may not have time to go out to eat like you used to, or fancy restaurants. So I'm like, well, I guess I have a reason to use it. It was just collecting dust. I mean, seriously, if you see my clothes rack, it's like, what am I going to do with these things, right? So I'm like downsizing, I'm selling some stuff. There was a really cute jacket. I'm going to do some videos, guys. This jacket is so cute, right? But I picked the wrong size. I love Tahari. Look how cute this jacket is. And it's such good quality. I had the new tags on it and everything, but it's size 12. I mean, I guess I could get away with it if I had to, but I'm probably going to sell it. It was like brand new. And of course, I took too long to return it, so I'm going to just sell it. But like jackets like this, the back fits like really good. I know I'm usually like a size 4 when it comes to jackets, or a 6, because it's a little bit too big. But you do want jackets like this to be a little bit bigger. I know I was almost just gonna like keep it, but you see how you can see you want it to be a little bit more cinched in. Thank you. Yeah, quality. But Tahari is such a good brand. You see how it's cut up here? I loved this jacket. I bought it in a hurry. I had no idea. I didn't even see the damn size. I thought it would fit. Can you believe? Can you believe? Now, yeah, so I might do like, I don't think I can do it on Etsy. See how I just took the tag, but it still has like the plastic tag. It's never been worn. And I could sell something like this for like $40. It was like originally 110 or something. I could like totally, or even 50, but for you guys, I always look out. Just because I'm going to end up being stuck with this thing. Um, yeah, like doing like a vintage haul or whatever. I'm definitely gonna unload some of my items because where I'm going, we're downsizing a bit. Um, yeah, something like this for work. Like if I was wearing this to work, I would wear like maybe a little something like this. I just bought this. I thought this was really cute. Like just to be more conservative. Like obviously if I was going to work, I would not, I would try to cover up. That's the thing. So I might or might not wear this outfit if it came to that. But something like this, you see how it like covers up really nice, but it's still like it has like the little holes in it so you can breathe, and it looks really modern. Yes, an oversized look. Yeah, a little smaller. Yeah, if it was like a size 8, even I could probably get away with it, right? But it's a size 12. I'm like, how the hell did I pick up a freaking size 12? I'm nuts. So sometimes I'll have too many clothes or whatever. But I'll mix and match different places. I'll order some things online. But can you believe I'm going to be like so savvy where this whole outfit came from? From the earrings to the top, and I wear at different times. That's the thing, right? Some clothes I buy online, like a specialty, right? But you can, if you go to like stores like TJ Maxx, you go on different days of the week or whatever, right? And I found this whole outfit. So, and even the earrings, these are the only ones there. Aren't they so cute? I love them with the little, and this is like the House of Leon because I hail from the House of Castile, right? And it has like the Leon, which I see that name a lot too. They have like a real estate company, whatever. The apartment they showed me was freaking trash, though. Sorry, guys, I have to say it. The apartment you showed me was trash. The one I saw today was so cute. So I'm like, okay, there is like redeeming qualities with some of these places, but the place that I went under that banner, I was like, what? No, and it was like so overpriced. And let me not even go there. I don't want to like poo over their name, even though the apartment I saw had straight up dog shit. all in the front. Like, what are you doing? How are you even showing a property like this? I could never. I wanted to throw up. But anyway, right? Yeah. So that was from the Leon Real Estate Company. Good one. But yeah, this whole outfit I got from TJ Maxx, but doesn't it look like it's so much more money? That's the whole thing. Even though I do have some outfits that I paid more, it's like no one can tell. No one gives a crap, right? They're not going to be like, hey, let me look at your tag. I mean, I have some pieces, like I have a jacket that was like freaking $800. Yeah, that was a really smart investment. Now I would just invest in, stocks or whatever. I don't play that game anymore. You get smarter. It's like really, is that gold? What am I doing? I could have bought a freaking gold coin with that shit, right? I can walk around. I think it was like a Hermes. Like I'm giving these freaking pagan gods way too much credit, right? Yeah, no one would tell. You could buy one similar, right? That same type, lesser, and no one would know. Make sure my mascara is not running. I'm gonna let you guys go soon. It's been an hour, which I love chatting with you guys. I appreciate you coming by. Yes, yes, dusters and layering helps. It'd be cool. Yeah, especially in the offices too. They'll have like the AC blasting and always trying to be conservative. But yeah, it's definitely it's great though because it just shows that it's a more higher caliber field. I'm going to meet amazing people. Just the people that work there seem like they're really professional. We had a good vibe. It was it seemed like a high level job because I had to go to the 2 interviews, gave me a background check, even a drug test, although I told them straight out, you're going to find THC in there. I'm just going to let you know if there's a problem with that. Obviously, I don't do that at work, and it's very, moderation. It's all about moderation, right? And I'm scaling back too a little bit too because of like any type of dental issues that may arise and stuff like that. Too much heat in your mouth. I am trying to stay away from hot. Too much hot items in your mouth is not good. So it's almost like I had to have like a wake up call. You know what I mean? Going to the dentist and all of that stuff. Like, even drinking hot coffees and things like that. I don't know if everybody has that issue, but your gums are so sensitive that it could be like getting burned. You know what I mean? So I was like burning my freaking gums. So I'm like, it's something that I gotta like, maybe doing a little just transdermally. But it was already prior to me even going for this job. And I was like, oh, geez, here we go. And I'm like, man, they'll do anything to get your DNA. I do know some people, and I was offered it, but I was like, you know what? It's not that serious. I'm going to be transparent. If they got a problem with that when it's legal, I don't even give a shit, right? But someone I knew was walking around with urine in a container. So a clean test is not always accurate, my friends. People use each other's urine. And they were like, oh, you can use this, just got to like nuke it for 10 seconds and you can use it for your test and it'll come out clean. And I'm like, that is so funny. I don't think it's that serious. I don't want to walk around with someone's piss in my bag. I don't even, no. Like, I guess I'll take my chance with fate, right? And, I got the call, like, I got it. Your grandma, so it does pay to be honest sometimes, I guess. Especially, it goes to show if they like you. The herbs for me, yes, ma'am. The herbs are for me. Yeah, definitely using herbs. Trying to be more vegetarian. I've noticed. Wow, folks will get that. Yeah, from the shop. I did that back in the day too. I drank Golden Seal because I've been doing it on and off for so many years, right? It's just been like helping anxiety, whatever, right? And I remember going to a job, I think it was Home Depot, and I just drank like a gallon of water like 2 days before, and I passed the test. They didn't even like mention it. Sometimes it's not even worth mentioning because they're not looking for that. I guess they're looking for certain prescription drugs, which is funny because people are like, oh, it's legal. But then they'll look for that stuff or like the harder stuff. So I was kind of like, you know what I mean? I overshared, but in a way they knew I was like transparent. So I was like, just saying, that's like the worst thing, and I'm just letting you know now. And, it really is if they like your personality because, I was well spoken, my background check came out really well and stuff like that. So they had other people, I'm sure, and they still decided to deal with me too. So, it pays to be honest sometimes if it's meant to be. I'm like, if it didn't work out here, I would try elsewhere. And it's obviously something that, if I had to scale back to advance my opportunities, that's just something you got to do because obviously your health should come first too, right? And although, we're into herbs and stuff, like I said, putting too much heat, and that's something too that you will notice, I guess in certain cultures they eat more colder foods and things like that. Everything that we eat is like cooked, like all the nutrients. So yeah, you definitely can see that like it could be a little aggravating. Not everyone has that experience, but yes, herbs are everything, right? But yeah, you got to use it responsibly. And obviously, if you go into a different field or whatever, that's something that might be brought up. But it depends how you carry yourself. Now, if you're a whole slob and, you're late for your interviews and you're not, paying attention, obviously they're going to like use that as an excuse too. And they're funny too, right? Heads up, when you go for these little drug tests, they test you like psychologically. They'll be like, okay, don't do this, give us our specimen, don't flush the toilet, and don't wash your hands. And you could be someone that's so clean, so used to like immediately doing that, that if you're like Russian, they'll be like, oh, you're not paying attention. Oh, you could be under the, like, I was so stressed out. I was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, normal, right? And again, if you're respectful and whatever, and the lady at the end, she was like, oh, I forgot to even put that in there. I won't even put that in there. Usually we're supposed to make a note of that. I'm like, that's too funny. I was like, you know what? I didn't eat breakfast this morning. And like, oh my God, I was like making myself sick. I'm like, I have to do all this shucking and jiving just for this thing, right? And I'm like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, because sometimes you can work so hard on something and you're like, is it gonna pan out or what, right? Like, if it's not meant to be, fine. I gave it my best shot. No cap. When the doors open in DC on the MJ used to cut up in DC. Y'all forgive me. I stopped vaping or smoking, but we can drink it responsibly, eat it instead. Yeah, I think so too, because it was like used for the anointing oil. So they must have like rubbed it in, but didn't they use it as an incense? But maybe it's different when you use it as an incense because you're just smelling it in the room and you're not like putting it to your mouth like with that heat. So again, I mean, it's one of those things. It's definitely just like with anything else. It's one of those habits that you have to, try to change. Like, I have to change my schedule, and or when you're really stressed out, try to go for a walk or something. We can kind of like, use things as a security blanket to the point that it could be detrimental. And that's something that, I've inherited in my family. When they go hard on something, they really, really go hard. So I'm like, okay, I've gotten my warning signs. I gotta chill, It's like the mind can want something, but the body's like, who do you think you is? Like giving you the side eye, like, okay, oh, so you think you're invincible, huh? And you'll be reminded real quick that you're not. But thank you so much, guys. It's been an hour. I got to go. I've been already going so much. I probably got people waiting on me right now. Yes, it's already 8:10. I meant to do this just to 8 o'clock so I can go join my company. But thank you so much. I hope that the rest of your night is amazing. Yes, rosemary tea, rosemary. I was showing you guys some of my notes because, like I said, I have so many printouts, so many different binders. I'm like, listen, I can't save every article under the sun in my boxes, but I can digitally upload them, and I can make videos so I can make sure, you know, it's saved indefinitely, like, the awesome benefits of rosemary. I was showing how you can just get it ground like this, actual leaves. I go to the nearby grocer, and you can add this with other free herbs too, or you can have them portions. But echinacea is really great too. I've been doing a lot of reading. It's good for infections. So you can drink it internally, which I was doing. I just finished my tea. So great. My little tea time. Um, and you can let it cool down and use it as a mouthwash to kind of like really get in there into your gums, into your body. And it's great. It's been great for my skin. Some people use it in their hair. They put it in a bottle and they use it as a mist. And you can get vitamins that way. You can get it in your face and things like that. So, anywhere you can maintain yourself naturally, that's the way to go. And I'm all about prevention. you know when it gets to the point that you have to do correction, that's one thing, but prevention is so important, and that's where we have the most control, is when we try to prevent things, because it can get really costly. Like, I'm in a situation where, yeah, some of the repairs I have to do can be a little bit costly, you know and I try to mitigate that for other people too. People forget how, you're just like one illness or one bone break away from, losing work, losing time, losing money, losing whatever. And a lot of these insurances, they don't even cover everything you need. So you are paying out of pocket. Obviously, you don't want them to do a hack job, right? You don't, you want a good quality of life, so it's just worth it to, do what you can by the insurance, by the dentist that will take certain insurances. And for some of the specialty stuff, then you have to like kind of go to another one. That's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. But I'm sure it's all going to be worth it, guys. I'll document some of my journey, kind of just, reminding you guys too to take care of yourselves too, no matter how active somebody looks or how vibrant or whatever. They no one's immune to it. I mean, I've had family members that had like perfect white teeth, but then they had all these gum issues and root canals and stuff. Like, you can't just assume that, you see, and there's a lot of people who are dealing with a lot of pain physically and mentally, right? And being troopers about it. So I have a healthy level of empathy. Even somebody I'm working with, they have a knee issue. It doesn't even have to be a tooth. It can be, something you're not dealing with. Like, I don't have knee problems, but I know a woman who her knee, it's like it gave out on her, and a lot of people deal with like, reduced cartilage and stuff like that, and they're out of work and incapacitated, right, over something like that. So it comes in different forms, guys. You definitely just want to take care of yourself. Don't get caught up with a lot of the craziness out there, because life is hard enough as it is. Just making it day by day with a smile on your face, right? Trying to keep it all good, right, in the hood. But I appreciate all the love. Thank you for stopping by. Maybe in time, depending on my software, I can get more people to like join in and stuff. I do like some panels. I'll watch them sometimes. Sometimes I rather just listen to the podcaster. They got a topic, if they got something, it all depends if you really like the person or not, or whatever. Sometimes someone can have a really good topic, but sometimes the panels get away from them. They'll go off into another topic, or somebody else will take the floor. And I'm like, well, I tuned in to listen to this individual, not so much, all their friends. So it just depends, you just do what works for you. I like doing like one-on-one type of deal. I give you guys opportunity to come by, whatever. And if you guys ever have, topic ideas, I always take that too. My email is dia-at yahoo.com. So you guys can always email me for video ideas if you need any help with like, holistic health, if you have any questions, need any type of advice, you can always shoot me an email. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you stay blessed, stay well. Yes, keep up your health, keep up, your nutrition. As they say, health is wealth. Yes, will do. Yes, honey, my email's open for you anytime. I would even give you my number too. You can text me and say hi. Obviously, I wouldn't put it all on here, but yeah, we've talked long enough. Yeah, you can be like, hey girl, you can send me, pictures or screenshots or what are you all doing? You're always doing like really cool shorts and stuff like that. So yes, you've been an amazing friend. You've been a really awesome spirit, and it's really hard to get along with girls nowadays. You know how they can be, right? So even in our own family, I have a lot of mean girl energy in my family. Yes, mean girl energy. So we're not as close as I would like to be, but God works in mysterious ways. Thank you, honey. Yes, definitely do. Yes, I'm thankful for you too. I'm thankful for your family. I learn a lot from you guys as well too. And it has been nice to find like my soul tribe on here. I know your husband's very opinionated. He probably wouldn't like us being friends. He probably thinks I'm a modern woman. He's probably like, she's too much of a modern woman. She don't cover her hair. Well, I guess I'm not part of like that tribe, so I don't think he'd be like that tough on me, right? But I'd be like, I'm really respectful. It's just sometimes I can be like a big mouth or whatever, but I keep it tame, especially if I dealt with somebody with you know, like you guys have like a moral backing and you're into the Bible and stuff. And I have a lot of respect for people like that and stuff. So I definitely like tone it down and stuff like but I'm pretty tame as it is. It just depends. Only when I'm like upset or really mad does that like Julia Caesar vibe come through. I think we share the same birthday. The actor looks just like my father. Okay, like just like my daddy when he was alive. And yes, I'm still waiting for my ruby pinky ring. That's what I need. The next one's gonna be ruby for my birthstone. Yes, I'm sure, right? And yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, me and my partner, we kind of we go up and down too. It's one of those things, right? When you have your own mind, but it's all about having respect. But I think I would definitely grow on him. I think he's seen me before. I don't know if he watches. I doubt he watches my videos, but I've commented and stuff. I probably make him laugh more than anything. But I love you, girl. Thank you so much. Blessings to you and your family. Enjoy the rest of the Shabbat. I appreciate you as always. I'm sure you probably got to go be a moderator on his or whatever. He's always uploading something really educational. Definitely check out her husband's channel, Deprogrammed Enlightener, Tosh Dog. I think he has like even another channel too. I know he kind of like he has like another one. I probably forgot by now. I just remember that one. Correct me if it's another one now. Girl, he did. Oh my gosh, why? Because you were being, why? You were checking it, like, he was getting embarrassed? Was he getting embarrassed online? He reminds me of my old brother in law. It's like all about like that righteous image sometimes. It's just too much. Why would he block you? Don't you guys live together? How rude. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to block you in real life too. Don't feel bad. Yeah, sometimes they'll go on their little tirades or they'll take down their Facebook. I've been there too in a relationship and then they don't want to they get mad at you or whatever, right? I've done it too. I've defriended my partner when we get into fights. I'll block. So immature. I learned not to do that. I'm like, that's ghetto. That's so ghetto. It's like, all right, block him in real life, right? Definitely we'll talk. I doubt he's gonna watch this video. Obviously, don't recommend it, right, girl? Right? I'm crying, gray rock, indefinitely. I know when you're in another relationship with the narc, I can't. That's why we gotta write books, girl, because we have a lot of real life experience. I mean, I got stories for days, right? So we don't want to give away all our secrets, but definitely email me. I appreciate you, girl. Stay strong, right? And it'll